What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Lamont Tyson. If you're finding me on TikTok, please come subscribe to the Lamont Tyson movie and TV review channel. If you're finding me on Instagram, come follow me on TikTok. And if you're finding me on YouTube, go to my YouTube Politics of Being Black channel. I always like to start these reviews by kind of talking about some of the highlights of the last episode. So before we break down episode 3 trailer, let's talk about what happened in episode 2 that stood out to me. Number 1, was this Donald Trump's idea to try to weaponize Pennywise? Like, who the hell came up with that idea to try to weaponize Pennywise for the Cold War? Please tell me who came up with that. Obviously, the military don't know how powerful this mofo is. And secondly, you really can't take him out of Derry, because if you do, he's not going to be able to do the things he's able to do in Derry. So are they going to bring the Cold War and everybody in it to Derry? I don't know. Second thing, in that scene where Lily and the Pickles were creepy as hell, looking like octopussy, I guess that's how you would say it. Did y'all see that old man? He was damn near as creepy as the octopussies in the pickle jars. Post your comments, let me know what you think about that episode. Now let's go ahead and dive on into this trailer. First thing we see, Hollerin in the daytime looking at something. It looks like he's in the hangar for where the airplanes are, and maybe he's looking at somebody doing something they shouldn't be doing. But then we get more detail. In the very next scene, we see General Shaw talking to the commanding officer for Hollerin, and he's basically telling Hollerin's commanding officer, yeah, he's got these powers, because if y'all remember, Hollerin's officer in his last episode, he was acting a little racist to me, as if he didn't believe this Negro had powers and why are they helping this Negro. And now he's learning from Shaw that he does have some shining style abilities, psychic abilities. And he's telling them we need to get him closer because we need to hurry up. They're in a race against some kind of time format, and we'll see where that goes. So now they get my boy Leroy. This is the new Tommy and Ghost, these two, Leroy and his buddy. And you see Hollerin right there. They get ready to go up in that chopper. Next thing we see is the chopper flying over the Derry area. Then we get a look inside the chopper. Now, for my military folks last week, didn't I guess correctly? I said I thought this would be inside of a chopper, and it certainly is. And you got Hollerin looking down at something, and he's looking at a cigar box. Now, folks, I can go ahead and tell you, them is not no Cuban Phillies in that cigar box. I don't know what's in that cigar box, but whatever the hell it is, it must be something that either helps enhance his shining power or possibly something that could be a weapon to help against Pennywise. You guys let me know what you think is in that box. And then we see Hollerin looking like he about to have an asthma attack. And maybe the closer he gets in proximity of where things are, the deeper and more transposed he becomes from his powers. And then we get a look at something that looks like it's the damn circus from 1930. Y'all see that Magilla gorilla in the background? Old creepy white dude talking to a young boy. Then they show the young boy at the circus. And maybe this young boy has something to do with the Losers Club. He could be the dad of somebody in the Losers Club, the uncle. I think he's got something to do with the kids. And I think that this might have something to do with some of the origins of Pennywise and how he decided to start using the mantra of a clown somehow, some way. And then we get Leroy screaming at Hollerin. I'm assuming Hollerin is transfixed, because the next clip we see, Hollerin is sweating like a slave in a church. I mean, beads of sweat falling down my man's head. He must be real close to finding something, or something is going on, because this man is sweating. And then we get that cop, the cop that coerced lunatic Lily. And he's talking to Veronica's dad, telling him, do you know what happens in ShawShank to people that kill little girls? And then you see Veronica's dad. Now, that ShawShank was definitely a Easter egg to Stephen King and the ShawShank Redemption. And dude is looking like, I'm screwed. No, you're not, my brother. Somebody's going to save you. I don't know who, but I feel it in my bones. Somebody is going to save you. And then we get Veronica, and she's in school. She's looking at something with intent. And then they show us what she's looking at. The dumbass, punk-ass kids that would never say this to her face done wrote on her locker, Hatchet Hank's gonna fry. No, he's not. They start saying stuff like this in movies and TV shows. Nothing is gonna happen. Somehow or another, I think Hatchet Hank is gonna wind up being one of the heroes to help with the story. And then we get Veronica looking like she is about to pimp slap Lily. And then Lily is looking at her like, I have a plan. Folks, this is lunatic Lily, who just got out of Juniper Hill, the loony bin. And as much as I like picking on her being loony, what's going on with her right now is nothing loony. This shit is real. And she's thinking, why don't we get a picture of what's going on? And as I'm looking at this, folks, I'm laughing my ass off because I'm like, dude, they don't understand the power of Pennywise. Pennywise controls this community the same way Wanda controlled and constructed her own city. That's what Pennywise is doing here in It. And she really think that with this Polaroid, she's going to be able to get him. They liable to take pictures of him, and then when they develop the film, it'll be a middle finger pointing up at somebody. Post your comments if you think this is going to go well. I don't. And then they go get new recruits to start the new Losers Club. She's talking to Will, my new favorite character, with his mama, his fine-ass mama. And, of course, they're going to go help because in the next scene, we see them sitting somewhere that looks to be a cemetery, if you guys can see the stuff in the background. Now, this, again, is not smart. Kids, I know you need some evidence, but can't you get your evidence in the daytime? I guess when you're dealing with evil entities, it don't matter. But I say that because the next thing we see, why is it that now Will got the camera, the smart black nerd, and it looks like he's going into a mausoleum in the cemetery. Then we see a close-up on his eyeball, and that reflection of something is in his eyeball. Looks like a male. It could be Pennywise as a clown or something. Next scene we see Will done ran his ass up out of that cemetery thing, and look in the background of that door. Y'all see that little white flare? Well, that white flare moves. So whatever it was that he saw in that eyeball, it was in there. And then the next thing we see is this figure of some old decrepit man. Old decrepit man looking like Bernie Sanders. That must be what he saw in that crypt that caused his ass to run. And I hope they got it all on camera because I'm telling y'all, when they develop the film, it is not going to be there. Then they follow up. It looks like we've got a truck and the hatch is opening. And I don't see what's inside the pickup truck. I don't know what's in there, but I'm going to tell you who does. The last scene, we see Hollerin looking in there, and that's the look of not fear per se. It's the look of surprise. So whatever it could be in there, I might assume it could be his family member that he's seeing in there. It's definitely not Pennywise or any form Pennywise is taking, because that wouldn't be the look of surprise. That would be the look of black. And that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Follow me everywhere I've got social media. And you can get to all my social media on one link. This link right here, beacons.ai/politics of being black. And until that next sexy as hell video, I'll see you.